Next on the news.
Yay!
1 year later, these Jubilee pilgrims are recounting their amazing experience with Pope Leo XIV.
I've loved him ever since he started being a pope. I really appreciate how he does really try to connect with the youth.
So this is my grandmother.
We are looking at some historic spots in the city ahead of America's 250th anniversary. On Staten Island sits the longest continuously inhabited free black settlement in the United States. Plus, we congratulate the tablet team on their recent wins by the Catholic Media Association. I'm Christine Persichetti. Currents News starts right now. The kids of the Vatican summer camp getting Pope Leo XIV excited about World Youth Day in Seoul, South Korea, singing an unofficial anthem, Jesus Christ, You Are My Life.
Look at him, look at him, look at him! There you go!
Young people say any experience with the Holy Father is a life-changing one. From his first event with them, the Jubilee in 2025, to now, the first American Pope is connecting with the next generation. It's been nearly a year since that Jubilee celebration, but kids from the Diocese of Brooklyn are still talking about it, remembering their time with the Pope in Rome, and for some, looking ahead to South Korea. Katie Vasquez has that story from Astoria.
It was the experience of a lifetime, the Jubilee of Youth in August 2025. These young people from Our Lady of Mount Carmel in Astoria were some of the estimated 1 million pilgrims who traveled to Rome for the event. Now they are reliving it through photos and videos.
People singing and praising, and it was really inspiring, honestly.
One of the biggest highlights was praying along with the first American Pope for the first time. Pope Leo XIV was elected as the 267th pontiff only about 2 months before.
I've loved him ever since he started being a pope. I really appreciate how he does really try to connect with the youth.
The celebration prompted these young people to make changes once they returned to New York City.
The biggest thing that I've changed is that I'm an altar server now. I serve in my parish, and I enjoy it a lot, and I feel like it's strengthening my faith.
The Catholic faith isn't just Mount Carmel and Astoria, that it's a worldwide church and that people celebrate it in so many different ways and flavors and colors. And I think that this Jubilee and all the people that we got to meet and all the things that we got to see, they really got to walk away with something that hopefully they cherish forever.
That was Katie Vasquez reporting. Their shepherd, Brooklyn Bishop Robert Brennan, is excited for World Youth Day 2027. Speaking with me here on Currents News, he says a large group from Brooklyn and Queens will be attending.
I'm looking forward to World Youth Day next year in Korea. Pope Francis invited us to Korea, but Pope Leo will take us to Korea, and that will be an exciting time. We'll go and have a nice sized delegation from here in Brooklyn and Queens.
Bishop Brennan went on to say World Youth Day in Korea will be an exciting adventure. To see more of Katie's talk with the young pilgrims and updates on World Youth Day 2027, follow us online at Catholic News Updates. Take out your phones right now and scan this QR code to see it all. Plus, breaking stories, saint feast days, historical lookbacks, and non-stop inspiration straight to your feed. So what are you waiting for? If you haven't scanned it yet, do it now. The National Eucharistic Pilgrimage is on its way to the Diocese of Portland, but before they marched to Maine, they celebrated One Nation Under God on the streets of southern New Hampshire. Dozens of pilgrims made a Eucharistic procession from St. Marie Parish to the Cathedral of St. Joseph in Manchester, New Hampshire on June 21st. The pilgrims first touched down in the Diocese of Manchester on June 20th after making their way through the Diocese of Springfield in Massachusetts. From the 20th to the 23rd, they traveled through southern New Hampshire, participating in celebrations like Mass, hours of adoration, and processions. For more information about this year's National Eucharistic Pilgrimage and all the stops, just go to eucharisticpilgrimage.org. Currents News is also honoring America's milestone anniversary by looking at the places in our city that helped shape our country. On Staten Island sits the longest continuously inhabited free black settlement in the United States. While the history of Sandy Ground doesn't go back to 1776, it was the first opportunity for hundreds of black families to live out the ideals shaped during the Revolution. They farmed, owned land, fished, and thrived in what descendants call a utopia. And today they're fighting to save it. Jessica Easthope was on Staten Island to capture their effort.
So this is my grandmother. She wrote Sandy Ground Memories in 2005. That's really where I got a lot of my history. She did the full genealogy to the first ancestor that came here, which was Francis Jackson and John Jackson. That's how I know my history. I think my biggest fear is that it becomes, do you remember Sandy Ground? We die out, that Sandy Ground just becomes like a folk tale. Unmarked graves, we had about 500 all along here. If we go back to the early 1800s, there was this booming waterway industry, oystermen, clammers. So we're seeing that all in like the Eastern Shore. That's where the majority of Sandy Grounders came from.
Turtles, pheasants, frogs, birds, insects, trees, planes, whatever. Nothing like it was.
There were indigenous people, there were white people, there were black people.
The ideal of America, where you could be judged on your character, who you are, not what you look like. They would either go upstate New York or into Canada. So this is one of the stopping places they had for the Underground Railroad.
At a time where black people were being oppressed, enslaved, your ancestors were here owning their own boats, having a lucrative business. They were doing things that were unheard of throughout the country.
Black history is American history.
When you talk about Sandy Ground, I think about liberation, I think about freedom.
Black people weren't seen. They were seen as property, less than the original settlers of Sandy Ground. It was looking for their part of the American dream.
This is the village. This is Sandy Ground. What's here that you can feel from AI is love and God and faith.
Because if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be here in this church.
We can't separate the faith from the existence of the community. And that's why Rossville and Zion is such a big deal to us. What are we doing? All that we can. Using our resources the best way we know how to, trying to apply for grants, fundraising.
Sandy Ground is still making history. Rossville and Zion is still making history. Oh my, we're gonna continue.
You don't give up on God, you don't give up on you, right? And He's given us this. So we're not giving up.
That was Jessica Easthope reporting. Be sure to tune in Friday, June 26th for an entire special on America's 250th anniversary. We are combining church and state to honor this historic time in our country. Let's take a look. Four words recited by generations of Americans.
One nation, under God. One nation, under God.
As the United States turns 250, those words remind us religion has always been part of the American story.
Very easy to be patriotic when we put a flag out in front of our house on the 4th of July. It's much harder when it comes at immense cost.
A cost Catholics were willing to pay.
This house in the middle of a Park Slope playground has significant ties to the Revolutionary War.
Opening schools.
Inside the former home of a daughter of the Revolution, the spirit of a mother still lives.
Serving their communities. As the U.S. celebrates their independence, we look at the people, the legacy, and the God that helped shape its future. Patriots declared all men are created equal.
You could be judged on your character, who you are, not what you look like.
This is America at 2:50, The Faith Story, Friday, June 26th at 7 o'clock.
That show will also air this 4th of July. It's part of some special programming. Currents News will be airing the entire week long that you won't want to miss. Starting Monday, June 29th, when we air our Coming to Catholicism special, highlighting just a few of the nearly 1,300 individuals who joined the Catholic Church this year at the Easter Vigil. On Tuesday, June 30th, we look at the first year of the first American Pope with our show, Pope Leo XIV, 1 year later. On Wednesday, July 1st, we remember a pastor from Corona, Queens, who brought his ministry to the Sunshine State with a special titled Meet Bishop Manuel de Jesus Rodriguez. On Thursday, July 2nd, we're winding the clock back on this amazing year in Catholic education with the 2026 School Year in Review special. And starting on July 3rd and going through the 4th of July weekend, you will see that show we just talked about, America at 2:50, The Faith Story. And finally tonight, we'd like to say congratulations to our coworkers on the Tablet newspaper who recently won more than 24 awards at this year's Catholic Media Association conference. The paper won a total of 26 awards, including 3 Best Regular Columns, Best Writing on a Local Event, and Best Headline. Our social media team is also on fire, taking home a win in the category Best Social Media Account for Bishop Brennan's Facebook page. You can see a full list of the awards and read all those award-winning stories online at thetablet.org. Congrats again. And that is Currents News. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.
Hello, my girls. How are you, sweetie? Nice to see you today.
After a lifetime in the parish, one woman at Our Lady of the Miraculous Medal in Ridgewood is making sure the next generation finds its place in the church.
I think it's time when we need, at a certain age, to pass the torch. They're the future of the church.
How Mary Macciaroli makes up the pulse of the parish, Wednesday on Currents News.